Welcome back to our channel, and in today's video we'll be talking about 5 examples which include surds. So our first example is square root of 2 times brackets 5 minus root 3. All you need to do first is expand the bracket. I will leave the link to expanding bracket video below. And so we will get 5 root 2 minus root 2 times 3, and the first part stays the same, so it's 5 root 2, and the second part simplifies into minus square root of 6. So exam techniques, you will get 2 marks. You get the first mark for expanding the brackets correctly, and then the second mark for your answer. The second example we have is square root of 12 divided by 2. Okay, so I'm gonna look at our numerator. So square root of 12 is gonna split into 2 numbers times together to give 12, which is 4 times 3. And all you need to do now is 4 is a square number, so when you're looking into splitting your surd into 2 numbers, you need to think of a number that is squared. So square root of 4 becomes 2 and square root of 3 remains the same. So numerator simplifies as a 2 square root of 3, which then simplifies with denominator, and we are only left with 1 times root 3 over 1, which is simply as square root of 3. The exam techniques, you will get a mark for simplifying our numerator and then getting the final answer. Next example is square root of 28 minus 2 square root of 63 plus square root of 7. So in questions like that, the thing you need to look out for is for common root. So at the moment they don't have anything in common, but square root of 7 is the smallest root, so you can try and simplify the other two. So square root of 28 is gonna split into 4 times 7. Again, they all need to have common roots, so that's why it's 4 times 7, so that 7 has to be in both roots simplified, so it becomes 2 root 7, and the same I'm gonna do to minus 2 square root of 63. As you can see, it becomes 9 times 7 in square root, and it simplifies as 6 square root of 7. The next step, I'm gonna rewrite 2 simplified roots, so we get 2 square root of 7, and it's minus 6 root 7 plus root 7. Now that we all have for all of them the same root, you can add them up. So you'll get 2 minus 6 plus 1, which will become minus 3 square root of 7. The exam techniques for this question, you will most probably get 3 marks. So you'll get a mark for each simplified root, and then final mark for your final answer. Our next example is going to be 7 minus square root of 7 times another bracket of 2 plus square root of 7. So first you need to expand the brackets, and you get 7 times the second bracket, and then I'm gonna times minus square root of 7 times the second bracket. As you can see, you get 4 different results. And then the next step would be is to simplify everything. Okay, so 7 times 2 is 14. The 7 root 7 stays the same, you can't simplify it anymore. Then minus 2 root 7 is the same, it can't simplify. And then square root of 7 times square root of 7 becomes 7, because it's a square root of 7 altogether squared, which is cancelling the square root. Okay, and now you can add similar numbers, so 14 and 7, you can add those together, because it's minus 7 becomes 7, and then 2 parts that have square root and 7 in common, they can also add up, so final answer is 7 plus 5 root 7. The exam techniques, you will get 1 mark for expanding the brackets correctly and 1 mark for your final answer, so it's a total of 2 marks. And now our final example, example number 5, is going to be 5 root 6 minus 2 square root of 24, and then plus square root of 294. You might look at it and straight away think, oh no, look, it's a really big number, but still it's the same principle. Okay, they all have to have a common square root, which will be 6 in this case. Okay, so 24 divided by 6 is going to be 4. So it splits into 2 square root of 6 and square root of 4, and our final answer is 4 square root of 6, and then I'm gonna look at 294. Again, it needs to have a square root in 6, so all you need to do is divide 294 by 6 and get 49. So it simplifies as 7 square root of 6, and then we rewrite the original expression, 5 square root of 6 minus 4 square root of 6 and plus 7 square root of 6. Now that they all have square root of 6 in common, you can just add them all together, so it's 5 minus 4 plus 7, and that becomes 8 square root of 6. Okay, so exam techniques, you'll most probably get 3 marks. You're gonna get each mark for simplifying the expression, and then you will get the final mark for final answer. Thank you for watching. Give us a like if you enjoyed our video, subscribe and comment below if you have any more questions.